Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos de nuevo a Kingdom Come Deliverance. Estábamos en la ciudad de Sázava, la otra gran ciudad junto a Ratai que hay en esta zona de Bohemia en la que transcurre nuestra aventura. Y bueno, hablando de Ratai, es donde tenemos que ir para seguir con la investigación que tenemos entre las manos, ya que en Talmberg no conseguimos ninguna pista, Ratzik tampoco nos dijo nada, así que bueno, tendremos que volver al punto de origen. Solo tenemos el nombre de Tonda, que es uno de los refugiados de Skalitz, creo, que a lo mejor él sabe algo, porque su nombre también aparecía en la crónica negra junto al del bandido que estamos buscando. Pero ya que estamos en Sázava, vamos a ver si podemos hacer alguna misión por aquí. Veamos. Vale, esta es lo de la investigación que estamos haciendo. Vale, descubrir qué hicieron Fritz y Matthew. Vale, esto de buscar trabajo de momento no. Un hombre de sotana. Buscar al padre Simon. No, esto es para Scalds. La casa del señor, esta podemos hacer. Ir a preguntar al monasterio. Cortejo, nada, esto no. Campeón de Capon, Acuario. Hay que buscar al padre Francis también. No sé si a lo mejor estará en el monasterio este buen hombre. Herborista. Ah, mira, también buscarlo en la corona ornamental para Lady Stephanie. Vale, esto nada. Nada, festín. Ah, mira, ya que vamos hacia Ratay, a lo mejor podríamos cazar liebres para dárselas a Alex. De acuerdo. Pues ya que tenemos una iglesia aquí, voy a ver si por un casual hay algún monje llamado Padre Francis y si no, buscaremos en el monasterio. Que de todas maneras tenemos que ir al monasterio para hacer las otras misiones, así que... Por cierto, ¿qué equipamiento llevo? Vale, no llevo las cofres. Has descubierto iglesia. Vale, forzar cerraduras de momento no parece la mejor forma de entrar. Ah, esto es otra cosa. Sacerdote de Skalitz, no me la puedo creer. No me puedo creer que haya sido tan rápido, ¿sabes? El primero a que miro y es el que estoy buscando. Y este es Padre Fabiano. Ok, pues vamos a ver si este sacerdote nos dice algo. Padre, necesito vuestra ayuda. Agnes quiere saber si volvéis a ver,
Father,
vamos a
I need
empezar
your
por aquí.
help urgently.
You? I recognize you. You're the Skalitz blacksmith's son.
Yes, that I am.
Efectivamente.
I'm sorry. What did you want?
It may sound strange, but I need you to go back to St. James. The locals need their spiritual shepherd.
No, certainly not, my boy. That's one place I shan't be going back to.
A ver, ¿por qué es vuestra parroquia?
Why? It is your parish, after all.
A parish that's little but a ruin these days. And besides, God forgive me, but I'm afraid. All kinds of ruffians are on the rampage around Skalitz.
It isn't completely safe, but most of them are gone.
As my father used to say, why take the risk?
A ver, ¿cómo escapaste?
How did you manage to get out of Skalitz?
I didn't. I wasn't there during the raid. I was here at Sasau for confession.
And why aren't you with our folks at Ratai? What if Sir Radzik has need of you?
Look, here I'm an honored guest and well cared for. In Ratai, there's hardly room enough for the refugees already there. And what's more, the parish priest doesn't like me. Which happens to be mutual. The last thing I want to be doing is haggling with him over where I can sleep or how many slices of bread I'm allowed to eat.
He certainly isn't known for being generous.
Veamos. Vale, los dos de diálogo la joderíamos porque tiene 14. El dinero ayudaría a convenceros. Es que el problema es que no me interesa que vuelva a San Jaime, porque lo que me interesa es que se quede aquí y así libere a Agnes para que pueda hacer de cocinera.
Good luck to you.
A ver, tú, que no he acabado contigo. Agnes quiere saber si volveréis a San Jaime.
Father, when do you plan to return to St. James?
¿Otra vez?
I beg your pardon. Why do you ask, my boy?
Your housekeeper, Agnes, is in Rattay and doesn't want to work for anyone else. She's waiting for your return.
So she survived. Thank the Lord. I prayed for her and all who suffered, but I'm not going back. Tell her I appreciate her concern, but to look out for herself now. Farewell.
De acuerdo, pues entiendo que esto le da permiso a Agnes para ir a trabajar de cocinera. Ok, pues una cosa completada, la verdad, más rápido de lo que me pensaba, pero aún así tenemos que visitar el monasterio. A ver, perrete, ¿me dejas pasar? Por favor. Gracias. ¿Por aquí no hay ninguna salida? Pues no. No sé quién demonios construyó esta iglesia, pero... digo yo que lo mejor sería ponerle una entrada que diera a la plaza, no aquí, bueno, en un sitio tan extraño. ¿Quién es esta mujer? ¿Nos dice algo? No, ciudadana, no nos dice nada. Vale, veamos. Tenemos que ir al monasterio, que tenemos bastantes cosas de las que ocuparnos. Cepo no había pasado por aquí ya. Ese hombre de allí no es el que estaba en la historia de Teresa. Charlatán, sí, creo que sí, creo que este salía, es al que le compramos un mapa del tesoro. A ver, ¿qué se cuenta?
I know you. I know you from somewhere.
Good wives, come have a look. Don't be shy.
Where do I know
You'll never
you
see
from?
such fine
What?
things.
Of course, my dream. You were in a boat made of bone, and I put a crown of thorns on your head.
Bueno, empieza fuerte este hombre. A ver, habladme de vuestro sueño.
Right. Tell me about this dream of yours.
That dream. Yes, that dream has come true. I dreamt that a young man would become my apprentice. My own pupil.
Claro, como no tenemos bastantes tareas más para hacer, yo no podéis hablar en serio.
And that's supposed to be me.
Who else? What's your name, young man?
Henry.
Henry.
Come right
A
up. It's a
powerful
feast
name.
for your eyes and your
So,
stomach.
Seguro.
It's hard to
Are you
resist.
ready to become my
You'll not
apprentice?
find better meat anywhere.
A ver, ¿quién sois?
First, tell me, who are you, and what do you do?
Me? I am an unworthy, low, and miserable servant of Providence. Scholar or merchant, believer or heathen. I wander the world without home or family,
Our
with
Lord's
only my
tasty.
wagon,
Good on bread and
offering
for
miracles to
Come and
those
get
that
it,
need
fine
them.
people.
That's who
and
I am.
pork crackling too.
Without
A joy
home
to
or
taste.
kin, I wander this world with my wagon, providing the miracles that people need. Ointments, relics,
Have a look at these
aromatic
cucumbers.
herbs,
Now stay firm all
rare
winter.
spices,
Buy them before
talismans,
Cured and
amulets
fresh.
for luck.
From the woods
All
or from the
these
pen.
things
It
I
all
have.
tastes delicious.
No, o sea, cosas de charlatán, básicamente. A ver, ¿y qué se
What exactly
supone?
does it entail, becoming your apprentice?
Exacto,
A
¿qué se
lot of
supone que hay
work
que
and
hacer?
strenuous labor. Knowledge of medicine, theology, and white magic. You have to study the great works of the ancients and devote your time to understanding your fellow men, listening to them, and learn to read their souls.
Parece sencillo, parece muy exigente. Vamos a decir sencillo.
Nothing to it.
That's why God has sent you. So what do you say?
Hombre, me da bastante pereza, pero hemos venido a jugar, así que...
All right, I'll be your apprentice.
Good men, good wives.
Wonderful!
Come have a
Oh,
look. Don't be
glorious
shy.
day!
You'll
I have
never
a
see
successor
such
in my
fine
work.
mates.
So, how do you plan to start training me?
With a test of your practical skills.
Oh,
I have my eye on 3 rare objects of great value. But sadly, they're a little difficult to obtain.
Bueno, otra misión de robar, no me jodas.
Carrots and apples picked today.
Bueno, no sé si...
From
A
the
ver,
yard or from the woods,
continúa,
lean
continúa.
and
Go
fatty
on.
pork, chicken and beef. We have it all.
First, I need a
Come
tooth
and
of
see.
Saint Procopius. Then I'll need a branch from a topping out hung on a church. And finally, a talisman for luck.
Carrots that'll make
I'm a
you and
passionate
your
player.
family happy.
bloody
Onions
hell,
that'll make
that's a
you
lot.
cry.
All right, one
Our
thing at a
lard's
time.
tasty. Good on bread and for frying.
A ver,
Come and get
el
it,
diente.
my people.
¿Dónde?
About that
And
tooth.
pork crackling too.
It's going to
A
be
joy
slightly
to
more
taste.
complicated, isn't it?
I know. Yes, it would be very difficult to gain such a rare relic, of course. That's why I have an alternative solution.
I'm listening.
No need to be shy.
A layman named Procopius lives by the monastery. And it just so happens, thanks to my intricate medical knowledge, that I found out he has a sick tooth.
Lean, fatty, marbled, meats of all kinds.
A ver, ¿cómo sabéis eso?
How did you find out he has a sore tooth?
As it happens, he told me at the tavern. But that's not important.
Vale, ¿cómo le quito el
And how am I
diente?
supposed to get the tooth?
I haven't the faintest idea.
Salami,
You'll have to think of
sausages,
something.
meat of all
But maybe
shapes,
you'll be able to
sizes and
persuade him to let
flavours.
the blacksmith pull it.
A ver, pero lo que pasa es que esto no es San
Wouldn't
Procopio
that be
como
swindling
demonios.
people?
Onion soup for the spring.
It is, and it isn't. If I sell that tooth as the tooth of Saint Procopius, then it certainly is deceitful. But if I sell it as a tooth from Procopius of Sasau, then I'm cheating nobody.
Does it
Vaya
really
pavo,
matter
vaya
whose tooth I bring then?
pavo.
Of course it does. The name Procopius in this holy land is shrouded with mystical power. Sometimes I might play a trivial trick on someone, but I assure you, I'm no swindler.
Meat of all shapes, sizes and flavours.
De
Fine,
acuerdo.
I'll get it from him.
Wonderful.
¿Qué más? Lo de la
This topping out,
coronación.
what's that?
You're not a carpenter, it seems.
No, I'm a blacksmith.
I see.
Meat, cured
Well,
and fresh.
a topping
From
out
the
is a
woods
decorated
or from the pen.
spruce or
It all
a conifer
tastes
tree
delicious.
hung on top of the roof of a new house to bring good fortune and God's blessing.
Vale.
Well, then all we need to do is break off a branch somewhere, buy a few ribbons, and we've got our own homemade
Fatty,
topping
marbled,
out right
meats
there.
of all kinds.
You don't understand, young man. The topping out was sanctified by a priest, and it hangs on the highest church far and wide. You can't just replace it with a decorated branch.
Fair enough.
Vale, si está en la iglesia más alta, entiendo que debe estar en el monasterio.
That topping off is hung pretty high, isn't it?
Naturally.
If your cottage burnt down,
It hangs
our
on the
sausages will
rooftop
still
according
taste
to
good.
tradition.
If your husband is
And the
murdered,
church is
our
tall.
sausages
And
will
how am I
be
supposed to get it down?
Come and get them.
Damned if I know. But they had to get it up there somehow, didn't they?
Come right up. No need to be shy.
Very well.
De
I'll get it.
acuerdo. A ver, y queda el talismán, creo.
This player's talisman. Where am I supposed to find it?
I actually have a specific one in mind. Here at the inn, there's a dice player who always has a cat's paw with him. That's supposed to bring him luck.
Have a look.
No se supone que debe ser una pata de
A
conejo.
cat's paw? I thought players bring along a rabbit's paw for luck.
I thought so too. But this man is winning one game after another, so cats are clearly even more
Lean,
powerful than
fatty,
rabbits.
marbled, meats of all
Oh.
kinds.
A ver, ¿qué más? Lo mismo,
How am
¿cómo
I
me hago
supposed to
con
get the
ella?
talisman from him?
I haven't a clue. It won't be easy, but
Bueno,
I'm
supongo
sure
que
you'll find a
tendremos que
way.
ganárnoslo
We'll see.
en una partida de dados.
Very well.
Vale, pues
I'll
creo
get
que
you
lo
the paw.
tenemos todo. Bueno, o sea, lo tenemos.
I'll get looking
Tenemos
for
la
those things then.
información.
Excellent. You do that, my journeyman.
Garlic
Good
soup
luck.
for the winter, onion soup for the spring.
A ver, entrenamiento, alquimia, robar bolsillos.
Will you teach me how to pickpocket better?
Certainly.
Ligeramente
I'm
avanzado.
interested in more advanced techniques.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Fua, 180, tío. Vaya patada en los huevos.
Now, pay close attention.
Y a ver, antes que eso, quiero ver si tiene algún objeto interesante. Veamos. Hablemos de negocios. Cuerno de unicornio, el silencio es oro y otros mitos. Esto... Habilidades sobre diálogo. Esto puede ser interesante. Un mapa del tesoro también. ¿Cuánta pasta me queda? 1,7. Todo lo demás es basura. Vale, pues me quedo esto y me quedo esto. Estoy por regatearle. Que ya me ha soplado 180 monedas.
Let's have a word about the price.
Why not?
Asparagus, they'll cut you in half. And cucumbers, that'll cure what ails you. Come get them.
Salami,
Vale,
sausages, lard of
270.
all
A ver
kinds,
qué
and
tal.
Since it's you.
that make your mouth water more than the finest
It'll take
cake.
more than that to persuade me.
Vale, 310 y está bastante cabreado. 290.
Are we agreed?
Well, now, a little more and we'll shake off.
Our Lord's tasty, good on bread and for frying. Come and get it, my
Vale,
people.
295.
And pork crackling too, a joy to taste.
Aye, that would do it.
Bueno, no es que nos hayamos ahorrado mucho, pero algo es algo. Entonces, tenemos un nuevo libro y un nuevo mapa. A ver, mapa 20. Tendremos que ponernos las pilas también
I
para...
need something for my husband.
What's
Scallops.
I'm not even sure. Only he's
Vale, bueno.
he just agrees to everything, but doesn't say anything back to anyone. He isn't the man I married.
Bueno, tendremos otro tesoro en Scallops. Tenemos que ponernos las pilas también con los tesoros, que se nos están acumulando los mapas. Pero bueno, ahora lo primero, ir hacia el monasterio y después partiremos hacia Ratai. De hecho, yendo hacia Ratai, creo que debería haber un tesoro. Vale, veo que aquí hay un panadero y otra taberna. Claro, no sé si el talismán que nos ha dicho si hay que sacarlo de esta taberna o de la otra. Creo que por aquí ya habíamos pasado. Vamos a ir al monasterio. A ver qué nos explican los monjes. Aquí tenemos a Matthew y Fritz que siguen esperando en la puerta. Pero antes de conseguirles trabajo, bueno, tenemos muchas cosas por hacer. Vale, vamos a ver, voy a dejar el caballo aquí. Qué raro, ¿no había un monje aquí en la entrada antes? Que era el portero. A ver si este guardia me puede decir algo.
Good health to you.
¿Sabéis algo de un altercado con un monje? A ver.
You wouldn't happen to know about a brawl that happened here not long ago. Apparently it involved two carpenters who were being treated here. And they were fighting with a monk?
A monk? I've no idea.
Ok.
The Lord watch over you.
No veo. A lo mejor es que es la hora en que están rezando. A ver, ¿tú quién eres? Asistente del prior. A lo mejor él sabe algo más.
You wouldn't happen to know about a brawl that happened here not long ago. Apparently it involved two carpenters who were being treated here. And they were fighting with a monk?
With a monk? Too bad I didn't see that.
¿En serio? ¿Nadie ha visto nada? Cantero. A ver, tú. Este a lo mejor nos puede decir... ¿What? ¿Será desgraciado? A ver, aquí no sé si estas puertas... No, estoy en zona privada. No puedo entrar por aquí. Y aquí imagino que... Aquí sí que puedo entrar. Pero no es lo que estoy buscando. A ver, cantero. A ver si él no... Joder, los canteros. No me quieren decir nada, los cabrones. Este de aquí, que es cantero también. Leszek. A ver, tú. A ver si sabéis algo. ¿Sabéis algo del
You wouldn't happen to know
altercado?
about a brawl that happened here not long ago. Apparently it involved two carpenters who were being treated here. And they were fighting with a monk?
I really don't know.
Vale, habrá que preguntarles a los monjes. Me parece que ya están apareciendo. Por ahí veo algunos. A ver, este hombre es otro cantero que seguro que no me dice nada.
Mind out. Something will fall on you if you don't move.
Y efectivamente. A ver ese monje. Si me puede contar algo útil. Hermano... No, no quería comer del caldero. Hermano Elías. A ver, dime algo. Genial, no me aparece nada. ¿Quién soy?
Who are you?
Brother Elias.
¿Y
What do you do here?
estáis haciendo aquí?
What I can. I'm just trying to help the Skalitz locals as much as I can.
Vale, vamos a interrogarles.
Since before the refugees arrived. It was much less crowded back then.
Vale.
And what do you do here exactly?
Mainly, I help Brother Nicodemus. Occasionally, I keep watch at night in case someone takes a turn for the worse. Sometimes I have to hold a patient down or fetch and carry things.
Do you know anything about healing?
A little. I can manage the basics, but without Brother Nicodemus, I'd never be able to deal with the more difficult cases.
Vale, o sea, parece que el hermano Nicodemus es el sanador. A ver, sobre la riña.
You wouldn't happen to know about a brawl that two carpenters got into while they were being treated here? Apparently it was with a monk?
Heathens.
So it was you they fought with?
Yes, it was me. And I hope I'll never have to see those wastrels again.
They deserve to be ousted, but the debt? How are they ever going to pay it?
I really don't care. Let them live in penury. Brutes.
Vale. Bueno, vamos a pagarles la deuda.
How much do they owe?
A lot.
$100 Vamos a decirle 90.
What about this?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost.
Vale, pues 95.
Well, well, look at you.
Perfecto.
Good luck to you.
Al menos hemos perdón, hemos saldado la deuda. Lo que pasa es que Fritz seguramente no estará muy contento con nosotros, pero bueno. Este tiene pinta de ser el hermano Nicodemus. Vale, y veo que aquí hay un taller de alquimia. A ver, hermano Nicodemus. Quisiera aprender algo de vos.
I'd like to learn something from you.
And what can you do?
A bit of everything.
Can you now? But to be more precise, do you understand herbs and medicinal plants?
Hombre, más o menos. Sí.
I do.
In that case, you've come to the right place. Someone who knows what they're doing will have it done in a jiffy. Go to the herb garden, take a good look at what's growing there, and then pull up the weeds in the herbaceous beds. Is that clear?
Bueno, no es el trabajo que esperaba, pero vale.
Not so fast. Have I even told you what I consider a weed? It's dandelions, stinging nettles, and thistles. Those plants have their use, but they've no business growing among the euphrasia and the mentha, or anywhere else in that garden for that matter.
Where is it they're not supposed to grow?
Between the mint and the eyebrights. Once you've cleared the garden of weeds, come back. And woe betide you if you pull up anything but weeds.
Don't worry, you've never had as good a gardener.
Vale, tiene entrenamiento, a ver, negocios. Vale, tiene pociones, el sueño del alquimista 2. Jope, me estoy cargando de libros. Y otro mapa del tesoro. Receta agua de leteo. Me estoy dejando mucha pasta. Espero que por lo menos podamos pillar algún tesoro para poder compensar. Hola, acaba de echar un escupitajo. A ver, esto de aquí tiene pinta de ser la enfermería. Herido. Insomne. Esta debe ser... ¿Es Johanka? Sí, es Johanka, es la chica de Skalitz. A ver, Johanka.
Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
Vale, ¿qué está
What's
pasando
happening?
aquí?
Oh my god. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
A ver, ¿en qué os puedo ayudar?
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Ratai unconscious and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
A ver, ¿nadie ayuda?
Does anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Y... no sé si esto...
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
First, you have to cool it down with water. Marigold ointment helps, and it's better if you don't bind it and let it breathe.
You do know what you're talking about. Looks like blacksmiths know about more than just pulling teeth.
Pulling teeth? Nothing to it. As long as you don't squeeze the pincers too hard and crush them.
Well, go and see if anyone needs anything. Just don't go pulling anyone's teeth.
Ok. Es que el... A ver, es que el monasterio no se
Doesn't the
ocupa de
monastery
ellos.
care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe, but convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Vale, llevar caza a Joanka. ¿Algo más?
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Ok.
Very well.
No sé si preguntar esto de qué tal os va, porque es obvio que muy bien, no tal.
You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
Ok. A ver, ¿qué
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
A ver, ¿qué podéis contarme
What can you tell me
del
about the
custodio?
custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right,
Vale.
that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week, Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power.
De acuerdo. Pues nada, más deberes para nosotros.
Quiet!
Everything here is fine?
A ver qué le ocurre a este hombre.
Christ above! I can't get a wink of sleep.
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and groaning all night, I can't get any sleep.
Vale.
Maybe I can make you something to help you sleep.
Oh, then for God's sake, do it quickly.
Sí, creo que hay una poción que
He just needs to sleep.
puede ayudar. A ver, ¿quién tenemos por aquí?
Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly.
Just won't get any sleep.
These wounds have been well taken care of.
Help me.
He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. I have to ask Johanka. I'm not needed here.
Quiet.
He'll be able to get out of this on his own. I'm not needed here.
Hannes de Skalitz. A ver, ¿quién es este?
What's going on?
You look all right.
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the humans wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing. I'll get some.
Vale, también buscar vendas. Bueno, vendas creo que tengo bastantes. Canteros Semec.
Yeah, shit. What's going on?
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
A ver,
What
¿qué le
happened
pasa
to
a
you?
este?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well, and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley.
Well, you're pretty battered, but I don't see anything that a few weeks' rest can't fix.
Weeks? My God, I have to get back to work sooner than that.
What's the problem? Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me, if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then?
Bueno,
Who'll take us in?
esto es la edad medieval.
We'll
Aquí
end
lo
up
de la
living in the
Baja
woods,
Médica
where any
ni
bandit or
por
ruffian
asomo.
can set on us.
A ver, ¿cómo te puedo
Is there
ayudar?
anything I can do to help? It looks like they took care of your wounds.
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it. And he got better very quickly.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place.
¿Qué será
Something has to be
Salvi?
written about it. A herbarium. Anything.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Farewell.
De acuerdo, pues creo que ya están todos. Uf, tenemos mucho trabajo por hacer. Vale, de todas maneras, como el tiempo ya empieza otra vez a correr en nuestra contra, lo dejaremos aquí. La verdad, ha sido... Yo que lo que quería era sacarme tareas de encima y lo que hemos hecho ha sido acumular más. Pero bueno, a ver si en el siguiente vídeo pues nos ponemos las pilas. La verdad es que hay que ayudar a toda esta gente de Skalitz. Así que será nuestra prioridad para el próximo vídeo. Lo primero que tenemos que hacer es ir a quitar las malas hierbas para Nicodemus y a ver si así nos ayuda también con esto de los refugiados. En fin, lo dejamos aquí y continuamos con esta historia en el próximo vídeo. ¡Hasta pronto!